So first of all, I guess let me ask, I'm really going to ask you all to participate tonight because this is all about you. It's all about us. This is all about how we can use our own mental powers to increase our success in this business by changing the way that we think. So what are some of the ways that we hold ourselves back? Does anybody want to share?
Hey, Dr. Betty, I'll just say, I mean, just our own negative thinking, and we all can have those kind of thoughts, right? And so I'll just say what I have to do with myself, and I tell my clients that all the time. For those of the people that don't know, I'm a mental health therapist and I'm a social worker. I've been doing it a long time, but I'm always talking to my clients about not getting discouraged by their negative thoughts, because we all have them, but learning to challenge those thoughts, so that you can prove that you have no factual information for the thoughts that are popping up. So that would be the first thing that I would say, because we all kind of have them, and sometimes people don't recognize what's happening with them. And so I talk to people about writing things down. And writing, when you have a negative thought, writing it down and looking at it and like, oh, is that thought even true? Right? Because sometimes people think that just because they're having a thought, that's a true thought. And that is so not true. So I'll just kind of start there.
Sometimes it's not even your thought.
Yeah, not even your thought. Yeah. Well, I think about what what Gerald says and Cuzzo says in his video, right? He's like, he had to learn to distinguish what thoughts were his and what thoughts were coming from other places. We got those gut bugs going on, that inflammation that's happening all over our body, including our brain. And sometimes we forget that, so I really, that really resonated with me when I heard him say that.
Not to mention the parasites.
Yep, right. That's what I mean. Those gut bugs, those parasites.
Exactly. Taking up space and not paying rent.
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually have 2 short videos that I wanted to show everybody, and then we can have a discussion, continue this discussion around them.
Money is the equivalent of energy, so you can buy energy with your cash. And the significance about that is if you're frugal and take care of your money and keep a balance, then you always have this energy in your bank account, energy in which you can live. However, obviously, if you waste this energy, then you actually interfere with your own survival. So you don't really want to go out and just throw away your money. And so basically, I really want to show you that this is an important insight into the nature of our own health and our biology and the world we create in this regard. That our biological system, the cells, rely on energy. Without energy, there's no life. So fundamentally, you have an energy budget that gives you life. And in fact, in the body, energy is in coins called ATP, molecules that represent units of energy. So in fact, biologists refer to ATP as the coin of the realm. The significance of ATP is this, is that ATP molecules are like units of gasoline, like gallon of gas, that are used to fuel our biological processes. So to stay alive, we have to have all this ATP. So there's an ATP account in your body right now. But the question is, how do you use this ATP? And now here's an important fact, that 25% of the total energy in your whole body is used to operate your brain. So all of a sudden you start to recognize that the brain uses energy at the rate of muscles of a marathon runner. So brain and muscle activity are pretty much the same. And so why is this important? Because as you're using your brain, as you're using your thinking, you are actually using energy. Now, why is this relevant? And the answer is very simply this. Because the way we've been using our thoughts are not necessarily productive. As a matter of fact, sometimes our investments of our thoughts are actually counterproductive because our thoughts create a reality that we then have to overcome. So basically it says that we must start to become aware of our thoughts. And why is this important? Because thoughts represent units of energy. Every time you have a thought, you use energy. Why this becomes relevant is if I give you a checkbook for your bank account, you don't go down the street and just write checks to people like, oh, hey, you're a nice looking guy. Here's 10 bucks for you. And, oh, here, little girl, go out and buy yourself a little car. Here's $1,000 for you. And you don't give away your money. Why? Because giving away your money is giving away your life. So basically, you become very frugal when you have a checkbook in your hand. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is this. You have an energy budget in your body. The energy is what keeps you alive. When you start using energy and writing checks where you get no return from your energy, then it's exactly the same as writing checks out of your bank checkbook and giving away your cash. So why this becomes important is the biology of belief reveals how our thoughts create our reality. And if you start investing in thoughts that are counterproductive, thoughts like fear, or what am I going to do, and how am I going to escape this problem, or how's this going to go wrong, and all these other kinds of thoughts that are negative kinds of thoughts, then realize this. You are actually not just using your energy for having these thoughts, but these thoughts are also what come into your reality. What you focus on with your thoughts, your brain will manifest as reality. Everything you do in your life, you put out energy for. Therefore, start to review what you're doing in your life. Because if you're putting your energy into things you cannot change in this world, that is exactly the same as writing a check and just throwing away your money to the outside because you get nothing back from it. So think about this very interesting reality, that you have this energy checkbook. And every time you use energy, you have to say, is the use of this energy going to enhance my life, or is it just wasted energy? Am I getting involved in a political argument with people where I'm going to use up all my energy and will I have changed the world? No. Am I going to use up all my energy to try to convince other people to change their life or change their way of living to make them even healthier? And they're not ready to do that? I'd be wasting my energy. So here's an interesting thought. If I gave you an energy checkbook and asked you to write a check every time you had to have a thought, you would have to then ask yourself, is this thought going to enhance my life, or is this thought going to take away from my life? And then when you start to realize that, you start to direct your actions where you put your energy into things that enhance your life and give you an opportunity to survive and to go beyond survival and really into thriving. So the point is this, we are facing some rough times. The more thoughts you put into the negative aspect, the more thoughts you put into the fear, not only are you just wasting your energy, but as in the biology belief, these negative thoughts, these negative stresses actually impair your immune system and bring on disease itself. And in 1925, physicists said that our vision of a universe split into an invisible energy realm and a material physical realm was a total illusion. That everything is energy. The whole thing, there is no matter in this world. And to summarize what the meaning was, a famous physicist in 1930 by the name of Sir James Jeans said, "We have been led to believe that the universe is a great machine,
Hi, Miss Nash.
when in fact it
I
is
was
more
on and
a
I was
great thought."
Miss Betty,
And the
Dr. Betty
reality
said that
about
she
that was
was
quantum
at the place by
physicists have
herself, but she's
established since
gotten it up now.
1925
Because at
that
first,
can hear
consciousness
you.
is the primary mechanism of creativity of the world that we experience. In fact, a more recent article in the journal Nature, which is like a scientific mainstream journal, was an article by a quantum physicist at Johns Hopkins University by the name of Richard Conn Henry. And his article was entitled The Mental Universe. I know the last two lines in the article because they were like so powerful. And here's what the conclusion of the article was. The universe is immaterial. It's mental and spiritual. Live and enjoy. And this is so exciting because science is coming out saying it mental and spiritual. It's like, oh my God. But that's the quantum physics part. And the reality about it, why is that so important, as Sadhvijay had just mentioned, it's our thoughts that are manifesting this world. Now you could say that's a spiritual thing, and now I say not only is it spiritual, now it is fundamental basic science of the universe. And it says then the thoughts are creative. Well, if the thoughts are creative, then who is having the thought? And you start to realize, I'm having the thought. Well, then the truth is simple, as Richard Conn Henry said, You are creating this world with your mental activity and your spirituality combined. And then all of a sudden it says, well, then if I'm creating the world, then my original belief that when things didn't go right, I was a victim. The universe wasn't supporting me. You know, it's like, oh, I try so hard and the universe is not giving me things. It turns 180 degrees around. And it basically says this: we are creating this world. And then I say, your mind is creating this world. And then I give you the science that says there are two minds that are operating at the same time. One is called the conscious mind, and one is called the subconscious mind. I say, what's the difference? The conscious mind is where you are as a spirit, an entity, a unique identity. You are in that conscious mind and perceiving the world. I say, what about the subconscious mind? It's not a creative mind. The subconscious mind is habits, things that you've learned and you experienced in your life, and they become habits. So the subconscious mind is not thinking, creating. It's subconscious mind, push the button, play the behavior. So here's the point. When we are in our conscious mind, we are connecting our spirituality to the biology and the physical planet that we're in. And that is the creative mind. That's the one you wake up in the morning and say, oh, I wish I had this and I desire that, and these are the things I want. And then you go out and start the day, and then guess what? 95% of the day, you are not operating from the conscious mind. Science has recognized 95% of the day, because we are thinking 95% of the day, our behavior is now controlled by the subconscious mind. I go, okay, so what's the difference? And the final conclusion of this is the conscious mind with your creativity has your wishes and your desires. The subconscious mind was programmed by other people, your mother, your father, your siblings, and your community. So what is the difference? You wake up with a wish and a desire of what you want.
Giddy up. Let's get right into it. How do you make money using artificial intelligence and tools like ChatGPT?
Wake up with a wish and a desire of what you want, and then the rest of the day, you play the programs that you got from other people that don't answer your wishes and don't support your desires, and all you see is the consequence of it and go, oh my God, why is it not working? And the answer is because you don't see, because remember, the name is subconscious, below conscious. So when that behavior is playing, psychologists will tell us 70% or more of the programs in the subconscious are disempowering, self-sabotaging, and limiting behaviors. So the simple reality is this: we have great wishes and desires, and yet our life is not controlled by that. Our life is controlled by the programming, and that programming is the disempowering program. So all you see is the consequence of the invisible subconscious, which will sabotage all the desires and wishes you have. And then to conclude that, what if you just didn't default to the subconscious? What if you just stayed in the conscious mind? That's called being mindful. And why is it relevant? Because when you stay conscious, keep your mind present, you are the creator of your life. And when people are in mindfulness, they manifest their wishes, their desires, and their happiness. So for all of us, it's sort of a wake-up call. You think you're running your life with your wishes and desires? It's an illusion. You're really running your life with your programs acquired from other people. When you're putting in a wish and a desire, put it in as if you already have it. I am healthy. I am a good relationship person. I have a great job. What's that? I say, it's like I already have it. And yet most people don't have it. So they'll say, I want a great job. I want a great relationship. I want to be healthy. And I go, make a recording of those words. We just said that. I want to be healthy. Today, right now, Tuesday, we're going to make a recording. I say, now come back in 1 year and let's push the button on that recording. And we come back a year later and it says, I want to be healthy. I go, it's a whole year and you still want to be healthy.
Still don't have it, right?
You didn't say I am healthy. You all you're emphasizing, I have a desire to be healthy. I want to be healthy. I have a desire to be healthy. And I go, you can have that desire the rest of your life. You're not going to get healthy. You want to be healthy, you say, I am healthy. But then you look and say, yeah, but in reality, I'm sick. And I go, no. The function of the mind is to take the program and turn it into reality. So if I am sick, but I put a program in, I am healthy, the mind looks, like, well, wait a second, the program is I am healthy, but the body is not healthy. So what's the function of the mind? Create health in the body. It doesn't change the program, it changes the body. And so the idea is this: every time we put a program in, it has to be as if you already have it, in spite of the fact you could be dying of cancer. I go, I am healthy. It sounds kind of weird. And I go, don't worry about it. Just put it on I am healthy, because once it is a program, the function of the mind is to manifest it as reality. That's the part. And so my little caveat, you brought it up, I'm emphasizing it, and that was simply this: that whatever you're downloading, you have to say it as if you already have it. Because if you put a future tense on it, I will, I want, I say, if you record that, that means you will always want to have it. I will do this. You won't get there. So I just wanted to bring that in, because if we're making a program, then you must make sure it says as if you already have it, in spite of the fact you don't. You as an identity are in your conscious mind. You actually are in there. That's where your personal identity is. And we have a tendency to say, if I talk to myself, I'm going to give myself a good talking to, and I'm going to change that subconscious. I say to myself, Bruce, don't do that again. Do this. Don't do that again. And then I say, it's very frustrating. Why? You can talk until you're blue in the face, and nothing will change. I say, why? And the answer is, and this is the most important part, there is nobody in the subconscious. There's nothing there. It's a machine. It's a record playback device. So you can talk to the machine as much as you want. If you don't know how to push the record button, nothing's going to happen. So then I say, how do you change the program? I say, how did you get the program? The first 7 years, your brain was in theta, hypnosis. So I say, you want to change the program? Every night when you go to bed, just as your mind disconnects, just as you fall into sleep, your brain is now operating in theta. So if you put earphones on your head and you play a tape, a program, a CD of what you want, as your conscious mind disconnected, your subconscious is downloading. So you just play that tape as you go to bed, and after a number of playings, your subconscious will learn the new program without even your conscious being involved. That's number one. After age 7, how do we put a program in? Repetition. How did you do anything? You repeated it over and over again. How long did it take you to learn the alphabet? How many times did you have to go from A to Z before you could remember the whole alphabet? When you drove a car, you didn't know how to drive a car until you did what? You practiced. You repeated. So if you want to change a program, you put into your mind a repetition. And it's not... recognize this, what you want to change doesn't exist. So when you put in the new program, it'll sound strange. So let's say you are sick, you have a disease, and I say, what program do I want? I am healthy. I go, it doesn't sound right. I know I'm sick. I say, I don't care. There's a saying in English, fake it until you make it. What that means is, if you want to be happy, just keep in your mind, I am happy. I smile, even if you have to force a smile. I am happy, I'm smiling. I say, repeat this, and guess what? After a short time, it becomes a habit. And when you're in that habit, you don't even have to think, I am happy. The new habit will keep you happy all the time, because that's the new program.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. That was good, Dr. Betty.
Love it, Dr. Betty. So true.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Reminds me of that book that I think a lot of us started reading, this Power of the Subconscious Mind. It's very powerful.
Exactly. Yes. So, okay, I've got one more, and this is going to tie it together, and then we can have it'll be a brief discussion afterwards, but I think that you all will have enough to get where I was going with this, because this is all about what we think of ourselves, how we empower ourselves, how we speak to ourselves, and how that can change the trajectory of our success in our families, in our personal lives, as well as in our business. So hold on 1 minute.
Yeah,
That
they have
individual.
she has a great book out called, I think it's Heal Yourself, where she relates, oh, she or he, I don't know which one, but anyway, they relate to your pain and how that controls your thought, what's going on. So it relates
Mhm.
pain and thoughts and what's happening in your body and what it means.
This
Mhm.
the person that's on here now, Louise L. Hay.
Yeah.
Yes.
hmm
All right, thank you. I'll write that down.
Yeah. Somebody else told me to read it and related to multiple sclerosis or other autoimmune stuff. So I need to check it out so I can present it to the group that I'm trying to build here.
Yeah, because it'll tell you, like, say you have pain in your knees, it'll say that means you're holding something that happened in your childhood. It will relate what happened to that pain.
Mm-hmm.
And you can start to release it, and it'll start to release that pain.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll check that out today. You said it's a different book, though, a different title.
Oh, I don't, it's called Heal. You can heal yourself, or I'll heal yourself,
Something
or
about healing.
I'll
Okay.
look for it. I'll look for it. It's been a long time since I read it, but it's a very good book.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you. That's
Yeah,
very interesting. Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you for sharing it, Sylvia.
You're welcome.
While Dr. Betty's trying to pull up her thing, I'll just say that one of the things that really resonated with me with the video that she just played, like I'm always telling, and this is more medical than it is, about the mental part of it that we were talking. Well, it's all tied together, but I'm always telling myself that I am healed, related to multiple sclerosis for myself.
That, yeah, Louise Hay is the bomb, and this particular segment actually tells you what affirmations are, the importance of them, how to use them to manifest what your desire is. So give me 1 more minute. 1 more minute. I'm gonna pull it up from my other device like I did the other.
That's the heart.
Hello, this is Louise Hay, and I am delighted to share my ideas on affirmations with you. This is the CD version of the book, I Can Do It. The book is for reading, and the CD is for listening. Do listen to the CD for at least 30 days. If you drive a car, it is a perfect companion on the road. Let these ideas permeate your consciousness until they become a part of you. I Can Do It. How to Use Affirmations to Change Your Life by Louise L. Hay. I dedicate this CD to my ever-growing audience. It is my desire that each and every person learn how to use affirmations to create love, peace, joy, prosperity, and a sense of well-being for themselves. Today is a new day. Today is a day for you to begin creating a joyous, fulfilling life. Today is the day to begin to release all your limitations. Today is the day for you to learn the secrets of life. You can change your life for the better. You already have the tools within you to do this. These tools are your thoughts and your beliefs. I will teach you how to use these tools to improve the quality of your life. For those of you who are not familiar with the benefits of positive affirmations, I would like to explain a little about them. An affirmation is really anything you say or think. A lot of what we normally say and think is quite negative and does not create good experiences for us. We have to retrain our thinking and speaking into positive patterns if we want to change our lives. An affirmation opens the way. It is a beginning point of change. In essence, you are saying to your subconscious mind, I am taking responsibility. I am aware that there is something I can do to change. When I talk about doing affirmations, I mean to consciously choose words that will either help to eliminate something from your life or help to create something new in your life. Every thought you think and every word you speak is an affirmation. All our self-talk is a stream of affirmations. You are using affirmations every moment, whether you know it or not. You are affirming and creating your life experiences with every word and every thought. Your beliefs are merely habitual thinking patterns that you learned as a child. Many of them work very well for you. Other beliefs may be limiting your ability to create the very things you may say you want. What you want and what you believe you deserve may be very different. You need to pay attention to your thoughts so you can begin to eliminate the ones that are creating experiences that you do not want in your life. Please realize that every complaint is an affirmation of something you think you don't want in your life. Every time you get angry, you are affirming that you want more anger in your life. Every time you feel like a victim, you are affirming that you want to continue to feel like a victim. If you feel that life does not give you what you want in your world, then it is certain you will never have the goodies that life gives to others until you change the way you think and talk. You are not a bad person for thinking the way you do. You have just never learned how to think and talk. The world is just now beginning to learn that our thoughts create our experiences. Your parents probably didn't know this, so they could not possibly teach it to you. They taught you how to look at life in the way that their parents taught them, so nobody is wrong. However, it is time for all of us to wake up and to begin to consciously create our lives in a way that pleases and supports us. You can do it. I can do it. We can all do it. You just need to learn how. So let's get to it. I will talk about affirmations in general, and then I will get to specific areas of life and show you how to make positive changes in your health or your finances or your love life, etc. Once you learn how to use affirmations, then you can apply the principles in all situations. Some people say that affirmations don't work, which is an affirmation in itself, when what they mean is they don't know how to use them correctly. They may say, my prosperity is growing, and think, oh, this is stupid, I know it won't work. Which affirmation will win out? The negative one, because it is part of a long-standing, habitual way of looking at life. Sometimes people will say their affirmations once a day and then complain the rest of the time. It will take a long time for affirmations to work if it is done this way. The complaining affirmations will always win because there are more of them and they are usually said with great feeling. Saying our affirmations is only part of the procedure. What we do for the rest of the day and night is even more important. The secrets to having your affirmations work quickly and consistently is to prepare the atmosphere for them to grow in. Affirmations are like seeds planted in soil. Poor soil, poor growth. Rich soil, abundant growth. The more you can choose to think thoughts that make you feel good, the quicker the affirmations work. Think happy thoughts. It's that simple, and it is doable. The way you choose to think right now is just that, a choice. You may not realize it because you have thought this way for so long, but it really is a choice. Now, today, this moment, you can choose to change your thinking. It won't turn around overnight, but if you are consistent and daily make the choice to think thoughts that make you feel good, you will definitely make positive changes in every area of your life. I learned this secret from Abraham. If you haven't experienced the teacher Abraham, call 830-755-2299 or log on to the website www.abraham-hicks.com for information. I consider Abraham to be one of the best teachers on the planet today. I awaken each morning with blessings and gratitude for the wonderful life I lead, and I make the choice to think happy thoughts no matter what others are doing. No, I don't do it 100% of the time, but I am up to about 75–80% now, and it's made a big difference in how much I enjoy life and how much good just seems to flow into my everyday world. The only moment you ever live is this moment. This moment is the only time you have any control over. If we won't choose to feel good in this moment, then how can we create future moments that are abundant and fun? How do you feel right now? Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? What are your current emotions? What is your gut feeling? Would you like to feel better? Then reach for a better feeling thought. If you feel bad in any way, sad, grumpy, bitter, resentful, angry, fearful, guilty, depressed, jealous, critical, etc., then you have temporarily lost your connection to the flow of good experiences that the universe has waiting for you. Don't waste your thoughts on blame. No person, place, or thing has any control over your feelings, because they do not think in your mind. It is also why you really have no control over others, because you cannot control their thoughts. No one can control another unless that person gives permission. So you want to be aware of this powerful mind you have. You can take total control over your own thinking. It is the only thing you will ever have total control of. What you choose to think is what you will get in life. I have decided to choose to think thoughts of joy and appreciation, and you can too. What kind of thoughts make you feel good? Thoughts of love, appreciation, gratitude, remembering joyful experiences, thinking of good things you would like to have happen in the future, rejoicing that you are alive, blessing your body with love, and enjoying this moment and looking forward to tomorrow. Thinking these kinds of thoughts is an act of loving yourself, and loving yourself creates miracles in your life. Now let's get to the affirmations. Doing affirmations is consciously choosing to think certain thoughts that will create positive results in the future. It is a focal point to begin changing your thinking. Affirmative statements are going beyond the reality of the present into the creation of the future by the words you use in the now. When you choose to say, "I am very prosperous," you may have very little money in the bank at the moment. What you are doing is planting seeds for future prosperity. Each time you repeat it, you are affirming the seeds you have planted in the atmosphere of your mind. That is why you want it to be a happy atmosphere. Things grow much quicker in fertile, rich soil. It is important for you to always say your affirmations in present tense. I have or I am. If you say I am going to or I will have, then it stays out there in the future. The universe takes your thoughts and words very literally and gives you what you say you want. Always. This is another reason to keep a happy mental atmosphere. It is easier to think in positive affirmations when you feel good. Think of it this way. Every thought you think counts, so don't waste your precious thoughts. Every positive thought brings good into your life. Every negative thought pushes good away. It keeps it just out of your reach. How many times in your life have you almost gotten something good, and it seemed to be just snatched away at the last moment. If you could remember your mental atmosphere at those times, you would have the answer. Too many negative thoughts create the barrier against positive affirmations. If you say, "I don't want to be sick anymore," this is not an affirmation for good health. You have to state clearly what you do want. I accept perfect health now. I hate this car does not bring you a wonderful new car because you are not clear. And even if you do get a new car, in a short time you will probably hate it because this is what you've been affirming. If you want a new car, then say something like this: "I have a beautiful new car that suits all my needs." Some people say life sucks, which is a terrible affirmation. Can you imagine what experiences that will bring you? But it isn't life that sucks, it's your thinking that sucks. That thought will help you to feel terrible, and when you feel terrible, no good can come into your life. Don't waste time arguing for your limitations, poor relationships, problems, illnesses, poverty, etc. The more you talk about the problem, the more you anchor it in place. Don't blame others for your problems. It's just another waste of time. We are all under the law of our own consciousness, our own thoughts, and only we attract specific experiences to us by the way we think. When you change your thinking process, then everything in your life will also change. You will be amazed and delighted to see how people, places, things, and circumstances can change. Blame is just another negative affirmation, and you do not want to waste your precious thoughts on it. Instead, learn to turn your negative affirmations around into positive ones. For instance, "I hate my body" becomes "I love and appreciate my body." "I never have enough money," or "money flows into my life in an abundant way." "I'm tired of being sick," or "I allow my body to return to its natural, vibrant health." "I'm too fat," or "I honor my body and take good care of it." "Nobody loves me." "I radiate love and love fills my life." "I'm not creative," to "I'm discovering talents I did not know I had." "I'm stuck in a lousy job" can become "wonderful new doors are opening for me all the time." "I'm not good enough." Or "I'm in the process of positive changes and I deserve the best." This does not mean for you to be frightened of every thought you think, because when you first begin to make the changeover and really pay attention to your thoughts, you will be horrified to realize how negative much of your thinking has been. So when you catch a negative thought, just think to yourself, "This is an old thought. I no longer choose to think that way." Then find a positive thought to substitute for it as quickly as you can. Remember, you want to feel good as much as possible. Thoughts of bitterness, resentment, blame, and guilt make you feel miserable. And that is a habit you really want to release. Another barrier to having positive affirmations work is feeling not good enough, that you don't deserve to have good in your life. If that is your issue, then you could begin with the section on self-esteem. You could see how many of the self-esteem affirmations you can memorize and then repeat them often. It will help change that worthless feeling atmosphere you might be carrying around to one of self-esteem and self-worth. Then watch your positive affirmations materialize. Affirmations are solutions that will replace whatever problem you might have. Whenever you have a problem, repeat over and over, "All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come, and I am safe." This simple affirmation will work miracles in your life. I would also like to suggest that you do not share your affirmations with others who may poo-poo these ideas. When you are just getting started, it is best to keep your thinking to yourself until you have achieved your desired results. Then friends will say, oh, your life is changing so much. You're so different. What have you been doing? And then you can explain. Go over this section several times until you really get the principles and can live them. Also zero in on the sections that may have the most meaning to you and practice the affirmations. And remember to make up affirmations of your own. The first affirmations for you to use right now are, I can do it. I can feel good about myself. I can make positive changes in my life.
Also, thanks
Yeah.
Thanks for making me go back into my library and pull out some books I haven't read in a long
Yes,
time.
Right.
yes,
And thank you for
yes,
exposing me.
definitely. And so, just to summarize, the subconscious mind, which is going all the time, is like a recording. And it's, for the most part, it's the thoughts are disempowering and self-sabotaging and limiting in terms of your beliefs and your behaviors. So the goal is to change the program. And I think it was Bruce Lipton who talked about just before you go to sleep and you're in theta, to put on a pair of earphones and you can listen to a tape. You can listen to him, you can listen to Louise Hay. There's another person, Dr. Joe Dispenza, who is also very, very knowledgeable and just very, very uplifting and very informative in terms of helping you to understand how you can change the programming that's in your subconscious mind. I was going to put it in the chat, but the chat is disabled. I'll have to remember to ask about how to change that. So the key to changing that programming is repetition. You want to put in a new program and use your mind as the soil. Keep happy thoughts there, thoughts of gratitude, appreciation, and love. And the seeds, which are our desires, our wishes, our goals, will have a fertile medium to grow in. And last but not least, one of the greatest things that they said was, you get what you think about. So keep your mind on what you want, not what you don't want. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next week. Does anybody
Thank
have
you.
any questions? Oh, I see questions. Let me see what they say. Yes, you can heal. Thanks, Naima. You can heal. The other person is Joe Dispenza. That's Dispenz, as in zebra A. And the gentleman that spoke at first, that was Bruce Lipton. And these are scientists, these are researchers. Greg Braden is another really, really good one, that give you just give you a new perspective on your mind and how we are really creating our own future. I mean, it's such an eye-opener that you will really begin to see and be able to utilize some of these teachings and to share with your teammates, your family, and that kind of thing, because you will be more aware of the words you speak, the thoughts you think, and the effects that they have in terms of creating your own world. So let's move our thinking from stinking to much more positivity. And not only will we change our own lives, change our business, we'll change our environment too, because If you change, then your environment has to change. That is the law. You can't change and stay in an environment that is unhealthy for you. And so with that, not only can we change our immediate environment, but it's like a wave that continues and continues and continues. So your personal self, your team, your family, your building, your community, your city, the state, the country, and on, reverberating into the entire world. So the more of us that are changing our own minds, changing the way we think, and being able to recognize that we create our environment, we can change the world. And with that, if there are no questions, I am going to say good night. Iola, okay. Oh, thank you. Right on. Okay, so yeah, guys, thanks again, and I look forward to hearing your stories of success and how you're able to use this knowledge and these teachings to improve and get to the top, the tip top, the very top. In fact, you know what? Alyssa said we're going over the top. So I'll see you there. Good night.